Hello everybody. Tonight I'm going to show you how I made a nice cover version of the Aphex Twin Track A5 using only the internal synth that is inside of the Tracker Mini and a sample of a English garden, so with the birds chirping and all that stuff that's in the original. Playing in the notes live using the screen buttons as my keyboard. So not entering the notes, but actually playing them in real time on this 10th anniversary raw aluminum Tracker Mini. And you can still pre-order one on Polyend's website. So let's take a look at how it was done. Okay, so I'm going to go to File, New Project, and I'm going to go to Save and just hit Save on one of those files there. So I'll just call this A5. I may already have an A5, so I'll put A555. Now I'll go into the pattern there, and I will hold down on Instrument, and you can see your synths there at the top. I'm going to use the internal synths for this. So I'll go up there to the first synth and select it. But now I'll hold down on Menu, and I'll go to the Instrument Parameters. And you can see that I can choose from 5 different synths there on the left. And I'm going to use the virtual analog poly, and I'm going to hit Load Patch. And when the original Mini came out, or there's a Tracker Plus, I made this patch for Polyend called Is Us Keys. So there it is right there, Is Us Keys. So I'm going to hit Confirm. So I've selected Is Us Keys, and it says right there, Patch Is Us Keys. Now I can hit this enter button right here in the middle and test it out and listen to it. And on the synth, be sure here on the polyphony to set that to the maximum, which is going to be 6 for this one. Well, it has almost a tremolo to it for the Aphex Twin song Is Us. And so I don't really want that for this application. So I'm going to hit Edit Patch. And I'm going to go over here to the LFO1 and hit the enter button. And I'm going to slow that LFO way down. I still want the LFO because I want it to sound like, I want it to be on free running, but I want it to sound like old tape. So I'm going to go up here to the ratio, and I'm going to turn that way down to something like, 41, or let's say. So now it's just a slow, wow and flutter type of thing instead of an actual tremolo thing. Going back to the pattern here, going to start entering data, but I'm going to use these screen buttons as my keyboard, as my musical keyboard. So I'm going to hit Shift Note, and then I've got notes across there. Now, let's say these notes were too high or too low for your particular application. You can go up and down and across to the other notes, so you can get the tones that you need on the keys. And you can also hold down on Shift, and you see octaves. You can jump by octaves and notes without holding that down and going into that and moving that around and over this way, which might be the easiest way to do it, but you can also hold down Shift. You could jump by octaves and move it by notes, so you can get exactly the range of notes that you need right there. So now I'm just going to hit Record, hold it down, and hit Play. And I'm going to start entering my notes in. sometimes as it's going along and I'm entering the notes in, you're seeing these instrument numbers in yellow that are already in the track. And what that's about is that's from my previous screw-ups. I went back and deleted out the track information, but the number of the instrument was still in the track, so I redid it. And then the last thing I had was that sample, so that's just going into the sample loader. And over here on the left you see A5 Aphex wave, and I can import the sample into the project like that. So that's just a sample of, I can preview it. It's just a sample of, an English garden with birds and some hiss with it too. And I'll highlight that in red. I'll hold down instrument, and then you can see it right there. So, and it's popped in. And then when I hit play, it starts playing the long sample. And this is chromatic, so you can play it at different speeds. Like an African jungle there. Here, monkeys. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed making it. And be sure to go over to Polyend's website, check out this 10th anniversary tracker mini, and go ahead and pre-order that. And go over to my Patreon, where you can download samples of a lot of the stuff that I've been working on this channel. And I'll see you in the next video.